Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So you can all hear me well, right? Okay, what do you think you're gonna hear today? Or what am I gonna talk to you today? So first of all, thank you very much, Vannaji and ma'am. That's the biggest delight of coming to a school. Everyone is so polite and nice. There's nothing, no big deal that we have done in our lives. These kids are gonna do many, many bigger things and make us all proud. So now let me ask you all, what do you think we're gonna talk about today? Why? Yes, why? Why should you save? Why should you invest? It's so much fun to go out and spend, buy the most expensive phone, travel around in the biggest luxuries possible. Why do we need to save and invest? For future. Okay, great. Why for future? Why not present alone? Why for future and why not for present alone? And I'm not asking the oldies like me, I'm asking all these kids. Yes. Any idea? Any idea? Some guesswork? Why do you all, while you are young, need to save and invest for future? Why not just for today?
Ma'am,
First learn, then earn. Yes.
ma'am, because work hard in present and enjoy your future.
Excellent. So that one point is very good. Okay, sure. So that's an excellent point. Okay, great. Yeah, thanks. That's an excellent point. What she said is work for today, work hard today for your pleasures in future. And I can't call you all children. You all are teenagers, young adults. So young men and women. The reality is what she said is not just a hearsay, but there have been researches about young people who could postpone their happiness or postpone the pleasure. They did great things in life. So I'm not going to go into the details of that particular experiment. I will leave you with one line or two lines. I would expect you all to go home and probably Google it. There is something called Marshmallow Experiment. Okay, Marshmallow Experiment. And this experiment was done on kindergartners, the young children. They were given marshmallow and, they were tempted to eat one and give. So they have the whole process of how they rewarded them of delaying that pleasure or happiness. And then they tracked them during the years. And later on, when they became adult, all those children who as kids or babies could exhibit that quality of delaying their pleasure or postponing their pleasure for a better thing after 1 hour or 2 hours in that experiment, they did much, much better than anyone else in the life. All right. So we want to instill that thing in all of you. Why? Because you all are young. You've got lots of energy, lots of opportunities. And we don't want you to waste your youth just running and chasing things which have got no meaning in life. So if this is one of the things that we will be talking about and few more things. Let me ask you all one more question before I go on with few slides that I have prepared. Have you all studied compound interest? Yes. How many know the formula? Can anyone write the formula over here? Yes or no? Yeah. No, please. That's all right. Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah. No. Okay, I can hear lots of murmurs. That means you all have memorized the formula, right? Does one person want to stand up and repeat it quickly? Your maths teacher will be really proud. Who wants to appease the maths teacher? One person? One person? Anyone? Quick. Anyone? Yeah.
Interest is equal to PNR by 100.
Okay, he said interest is equal to PNR by 100. And I asked, Which formula did I ask? So I want the formula of compound interest, not simple interest. What is the formula for compound interest? Amount is equal to P into 1 plus N by 100, R by 100 to the power N. Yes or no? I'm going to give you that formula on the screen. Memorize it. The most important formula for your life, if you want to think about money properly. The most important formula. And can you go on to the next slide, please? Okay, here, next slide. So that will be the most important formula, or what we call power of compounding, the most important formula for your life. I don't know if Albert Einstein really said that or not, but it's being quoted to him. He said it's the eighth wonder of the world. And those who know it enjoy their lives. Those who do not are really miserable in life. How many of you have watched Hindi movies or Tamil movies in past and current, right? So nowadays they don't show many of those movies, but earlier movies had a lot of that landowner and the farmer, that kind of a discussion happening, right? And the farmer would, poor farmer would be going around crying, hey, you know, I just borrowed 1,000 rupees. I have given 1,000 rupees 100 times back to the landowner, but he still says that I have not paid the money back to him. What is the major difference? Leave aside someone being cruel or, you know, caste war or all that. Leave that aside. What is the biggest difference? The biggest difference between the two is landowner knows compound interest and the farmer does not know compound interest. That's the reality of life. So you see this one formula. What does A stand here for? What does P stand for? Principal, right? Your original money that you invest. 1 is 1, right? R, rate of return or rate of interest. Now, this is something some other time, there are lots of things that you can talk about it. But right now, we will look at that rate of return. And in this formula, there's a little bit of a complexity, R divided by N, because N, they have taken number of compounding periods in a year. If you want, you can leave that behind. You can just say 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power time T, right? And N over here in this particular formula, if you all can memorize, is the number of compounding periods during the year. So you can probably have a look at it later on, understand it from your teacher or do it in the classroom. I'm not going to spend time on that particular aspect, but listen and look at this particular formula. We talk about financial planning as a career, as a practice, and we do that, you know, and we are one of those who started very early in the country and still doing it in a very holistic manner. Very few people are able to do it. The whole practice runs on this one formula. Everything runs on this one formula. Where does this P come from? How much is the P? Where does this R come from? How much is the R? Where does the T come from? How much is the T? And who has got the T in hands? Right? So if you ask me, I have got probably 1/3 of the T that you all have. So today I'm going to just tell you one trick, and that is how do you use this T to your advantage and not suffer later on. Can we go to the next slide? Next, please. This is a simple story. Unfortunately, the story came back to us through more of Western media, but this is an ancient Indian story about a small girl. They've said the girl's name Rani, but whatever the name was, this is a small girl in a kingdom. And there was a famine in this kingdom. Right? You all get the famine, right? You know, there was not enough food and grains were in shortage. So the king decided to do a big homam, that we'll do the homam, havan and yagya, so as to please the gods and they will give rain and all that. And he organized a big feast and big homam. In this whole thing, while he was carrying, lots of grains were being carried from the granary to the yagya place. Lots of grains was being wasted from the bag and sack, and people were really being miserable. So this little girl had the courage, and she went to the king and she asked him, she confronted him basically. I'm not going to go too much detail into the story. I have shared that story with your teachers, and they will share that leaflet with you all later on, and then you can all read it and deliberate over it. I'm just going to give you one thing, that when the little girl negotiated with the king, and the king was pleased, and he said, okay, what do you want? She said, just give me 1 grain of rice. How many grains?
1 grain.
But there's one condition. And what's that condition? Day 1, that is 1st of September, you give me 1 grain. 2nd September, you give me 2 grains. 3rd of September, you give. 5th of September, you give me. 6th. 4 for the 16, 16, doubling. Okay, every day doubling. Yeah, sorry, I'm wrong. Doubling, you're right. So can we go to the next slide? So you all have a sheet today, right? Let me ask you the number. What number will you get from the king by the end of 31st day? And let me see how quickly can you do it. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, 8. Go ahead with it, yeah? 8 to the 16, 16 to the 32, and then go on. Doubling, every day it's doubling. How long do you think you're gonna take? Let's see. If you all have mobile or calculators, you are allowed to use that. If you have calculators, allowed to use that. This is I've never. Not yet. King had a lot of work on his hand counting the grains of rice. Fingers, brain, use everything. Ma'am, it has been how many minutes? Any answers? Can you go to the next slide? Can you all see the screen? I know that picture quality is not so great, but still it will give you the idea. 1 to 2, 4, 8, 16. Okay, can one of you stand up and read it? Can one of you please stand up and read? Yeah, please.
Day 1, 1, day 2, 2, day 3, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 2048, 4096, 8192, 16,384, 32,768, 65,536, 1,31,072, 2,62,144, 5,24,288, 10,48,576, 20,97,152, 41,94,304, 83,88,608, 1 crore 67 lakh 77,216, 33 crore 55 lakh 44,032, 67 crore 110 lakh 88,064. After that,
134 crore, right? Right? Then 263 crore, 536 crores. Right?
536 crore 870 lakh 912.
That's at the end of day 30. Can you imagine? He couldn't count, right? And he's not a kindergartner. And it's not, nothing is wrong with him, okay? If I read it, even I'll get confused. Okay, how many zeros, how many commas, which number is it going? Is it an unreal number? Do you think you can see this effect? Now you see one more thing. Look at the numbers carefully. How long did it take from 1 rupee to become 2 rupees? How long did it take 1,000 to become 2,000? How long did it take for 1 lakh? Is it lakh? Yeah, 10 lakhs. Okay. 1 lakh to become 2 lakhs? 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs? Where is the crore? See, even I can't see it. 167, 1.6 crore to 3.2 crore? 10 crores to 20 crores? It depends in your life. When do you reach this number, about this 131 or 262 or about this 41 lakh number? If you reach that number in your 30s, you will retire with so many crores that you won't know what to do, and you will be donating it back to your school. Right? If you miss out on all those, if you miss out on all these years, your early 20s and 30s, you will keep running after money and money will never come to you. I'll tell you why. Next slide. If you make mistakes in your 20s, okay. If you make mistake in your 20s, you will spend your 30s mending those mistakes. Sorry. Your 30s will be spent correcting your mistakes of 20s. By the time age catches up, you will have children. Children will be going to school, colleges. Parents getting older. Their support is not there. Probably you have to take care of them when you touch your 40s. And you have just corrected your mistakes of 20s. So although you may be making a lot of money in your 40s, but the expenses are also bloating up, right? You're all able to understand what I'm saying, right? And can you visualize that? Just think of yourself, put yourself in that position. In 40s, your expenses are also going up. So whatever you earn, you're already spending. By the time you finish raising your children, taking care of parents, you are touching 50s. And when do people retire in general? So the retirement is looking in your face. And during this time and era, People work from the age of, say, 25 approximately to the age of 55 to 60. Usually corporates have started retiring people at the age of 55, 58, and few of them at 60. And people live till 90s. I'm sure we are in Chennai and we see a lot of people in their 90s around us, right? So how many years are you working? For how many years did you work? 25 to 60, say how many years? 35 years. How many years are you going to live in retirement? Another 35 years or 40. You all will live much longer than we all will, right? So with every generation, the expected age goes up. Hospitals, good medicines, good food, everything, right? But everything costs money. So do you see this equation? If you miss your 20s, and that's why it is so important for you all to do the right thing in your 20s. If you do the things right in your 20s, when you don't have responsibilities, children, parents are there to support you for any other expense or anything like that. You do things right in 20s, save enough, invest. By the time you touch your 30s, your money will continue to grow. And whatever you are earning, your savings will also increase, because in 30s, you will make more money than you're making in 20s, right? So up to 40s, early 40s, you are constantly saving and investing, and the money is growing. And when you touch 40s, that means a lot of expenses are coming up. You're making enough money, which will take care of all those big expenses. But the corpus that you collected till your 30s, it's going to continue to grow at that same pace. You remember? Can we go next slide? You remember that? 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8. So if you have by that time, say if you have 1 crore, every 5 years, your money is doubling. By the time you are ready to retire, you have a huge corpus of money, which you don't need to, which you probably you may not need that kind of a money. Isn't it a great situation to be? Yes, right? And a lot of your elders are in that situation, right? So learn from them, one thing. Second is, you see this chart? And this is the concept of exponential growth. If you all go home with this, at least this picture in mind, initially you see it doesn't feel like something is happening. Right? It's like very minor growth. ठीक है ना? I'm in this much. इसमें क्या होता है? इसमें तो कुछ भी नहीं होता. इसमें तो कुछ भी नहीं होता. But then you see the growth. It's a steep growth, and suddenly your money starts multiplying. So that's why children. Next. Is it me? So. Young men and young women, if you're going to go home with one thing today, remember to do all the right things in your 20s. Remember that picture. And trust me, when you're 40, you will try to find me and say, where is Renu auntie? And ask her, she did so good for us. And I'm sure you guys will be looking around for your teachers also at that time. That, okay, you know, we got a lesson which is going to change our life. Ask your elders who did well, if you can see it around your neighborhood or in your friends or parents. Ask them what did they do right, and they would all have done the same thing. When you are young, do not touch a luxury. Listen, do not touch a luxury. The moment you touch a luxury, it becomes necessity. Once it becomes necessity, its presence doesn't make you happy anymore. But its absence will make you miserable. When you are young, your body has tons of energy. If I had to walk down from main road to here, at my age, I'll be miserable. You know, I would not feel like standing here, pull up a chair, sit here and okay, my God, you know, I'm sweating. But at your age, you can run around, take 10 rounds, right? So make use of what you have right now. You have lots of time, you have lots of energy. Put your time to use, right use, And in terms of money, save your money, invest it in the right places so that you have a lot of money when you are older, in your 40s. All these lessons are for you when you all start making money, but you're all getting ready to get out in the real world and make your life. So you got to have this lesson before you get out of into the real world. Now, when I said that opposite of, if those who do not know compound interest, they are the ones who end up doing this. So the way the compounding happens and it takes up, discounting happens in the reverse direction, and all your loans end up doing that. So these are the 5 commandments. Remember, memorize them. I'm gonna give this presentation to your ma'am. She will circulate it to you all. You can mug it up, put it on your pin board in the house, okay, every day. Never borrow for consumption. That means take a loan, go out for a vacation. You will find plenty of advertisements saying, buy now, pay later. Okay, you wanna go for a vacation? Just go ahead, don't worry, we'll take your money later on. Never get into that. See, the whole world around us, how is it? It's a lot of consumerism. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of buy and throw kind of thing. This capitalism, what we call, it's good. Why is it good? Because it's giving you and me, every normal person, an opportunity to participate in the growth and create a good life for ourselves, right? What is the catch? The catch is, if I don't understand what is happening around in the world, how are they making money off me? So all those people saying, buy now, pay later. No, not at all. Sorry. Okay, don't go for that. Never borrow for consumption, never borrow for discretionary wants. Can you all define discretionary wants? Who can define it? Can anyone define discretionary? Discretionary means something which not necessary, exactly. So is food discretionary? Someone said yes over here. Is food discretionary? No. Which food is not discretionary? The morning idli dosa is not discretionary. Lunch dal roti is not discretionary. But if I go and pick up a Baskin Robbins or a Haagen-Dazs, that's discretionary, right? Right? So differentiate between needs and wants. Never borrow for discretionary wants. If there's a life and death situation, you should borrow. That's why that facility is available in the system, but not otherwise. Never take personal loan or credit card loan. Trust me, children, I'm in the practice of doing this personal finance and helping people grow their money, sort out their finances. I get cases, we just can't help them. This credit card, okay, how much would be the interest on credit card loan? Can you all give me a number? Who said 6%? 36%, 48%. Can you imagine that number? 36%, what does it mean? Your money becomes half in 2 years. If someone gives you 36% return on an investment, that means your money is doubling in 2 years. It's a short way to make your whole life miserable. For the rest of your life, you take your credit card loan in your 20s, I can bet you will have a miserable 50s, up to 50s. It will be so difficult for you to get out of it until and unless someone gives, God gives you some, वो बोलते हैं ना ऊपर से भगवान जी पैसा गिरा देंगे तो बात अलग है. Otherwise, it's not gonna happen, right? So no personal loan, because that you get trapped in that personal loan, you can't get out of it. Personal loan is slightly cheaper than credit card loans, but still you get trapped in them because you can't pre-close, and there are lots of such, rules and regulations around it. If you get into this vicious cycle of personal loans and credit card loans, only Kubera can help you. No one else can help you. Borrow only for long-term life needs like house, education, and business. Why did I give names? Why did I say it's okay to borrow for these 3 things? Sorry? These are necessities, okay. Exactly. It will give you much higher return than what you're going to pay. So suppose your parents don't have enough money for your higher education, then you take a higher education loan and make a life for yourself. You will earn a lot just because you did an MBA from some great institute or you went to engineering great college, right? And this last line, mug it up, it can be your mantra. Every morning you say, save, invest and spend, do not buy now and pay later. Simple, very, very simple things in life. And your life will be a delight. Next one. Few very basic tips. Don't look for excitement with money. Money should not excite you. Making should not be excitement. If you are going to look for excitement, then that means you are doing gambling. Okay, your cryptos, your trading in the market, derivatives, they're all legalized way of gambling. Until and unless you are a stockbroker, a trader, get into that. All those excitements are not excitements, they are stress for your life. Okay. Wealth creation is a long-term, boring process. If you think it is exciting you, then probably you're gambling. Wealth creation is like gardening. It's like investment. You sow the seeds in the right ground, right? How would you grow a tree or a plant, right? You first prepare the ground, then you sow the seeds, water it, tend to it, keep, some of the plants you pluck at the leaf level, like spinach and all, and use them. So few of the plants, you let them grow into flowers, cauliflower, or, other flowers that you use the flowers. Few of the plants, you pluck the fruits. For few of them, let them go up to the nut stage and eat seeds. And few of them, you just let them grow like a teak tree and take the whole tree out and use the wood. Investment is just like that. At any point in time, if someone gives you promises and guaranteed return, imagine that it's just a promise. Okay, it is not like that. It's always a slow, steady growth process. Steady, okay, that's a separate topic, but it's a slow, long-term process and boring process. So don't look for excitement in wealth creation or investment. Give me a moment, it's soft. Next one. Shall we take Q&A first? Do we have questions? Can we go for question answers, or shall I just give you 2-3 more slides? 10 minutes, okay. So remember, when you're making investments, think of, there are only these 4 ways to make money. Rather, there are only these 4 ways for make the money work for you. Making money is different. That's an earning part. That's a different thing. Those are career choices. We are not talking about that today. We're talking about how do you make money. I'm very sorry again. How do you make your money work for you? That's how. There are only 4 ways. One is, I say, okay, I have my business, FinScholars, and I need 2 crores to expand my business. I come to you, I say, okay, give me 2 crores. I will give you 8% per annum. Doesn't matter whether I make money or not. I may make 50% on it, or I may not make anything. Then I'll give it from my pocket, right? What is that kind of an investment called? Debt investments, right? Debt is a classification, a technical name. I do not know if you all have gone through it right now or not, but yeah, okay, that's what is called debt. So your fixed deposit in banks, it comes in this category, right? Then there are debt papers, what you call, which can be bought and sold in the market, and they are a different category, but they are still the same kind. That means you're earning interest on that. What would be the risk? Suppose I come to you here today And I say, okay, give me 2 crores. At the same time, Mr. Baheti also comes and he says, children, don't give 2 crores to her, give it to me. Okay, I say, no, give it to me. I'll give you 10%. He is giving you only 8%. Why will I give you 10%? And what will be the risk? And why will he give you only 8%? And what will be the risk? Can you visualize that? Yeah, tell me. Tell me, share. It's nice. It's nice. Because I'm not trying to give you any technical terms. I want you all to understand the concept and the risks and the returns associated with all kinds of instruments that are floating around in the market. So anytime you have to take a call, these few basic principles will be handy all your life, for the rest of your life. Trust me. Yes, tell me.
The money can't come again.
No, I didn't get your point. Money. See, I say I am going to give 10%. Mr. Baheti says I'll give you 8%. Why and why will you take it? Why will you give the money to us?
For interest.
For interest. Who has got higher risk, me or Mr. Baheti? Now, don't think of me that, because she introduced and all that. You have seen me for the first time, right? So think of it in that manner. Me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I have a higher risk, whereas Mr. Baheti will have lower risk in your eyes. And not only in your eyes, in reality, because you know him. You are studying in his school, right? And you know his background. So you will be prepared to give him 2 crores if you have, or if he asks for 2 lakhs, whatever. But you will think that if you have to give it to me, I better give something more. You say, no, not at 10%. I say, okay, I'll give you 11%. You say, okay, TK, she was introduced, so maybe she's not going to run away with my money. Let me try it out, right? And then you'll say, okay, not 2 crores, I'll give you 20 lakhs. But 1.8 lakhs crores, I'm still going to give to Mr. Baheti, right? Are you getting my point? Yeah. So how do you look at the risk and return part of a debt income security or fixed deposit kind of thing? What is the repayment guarantee? Right? What if this person or this company runs away with the money? One thing. Second is, what if I don't have enough cash flows and I cannot pay you interest? So that's what is called credit worthiness. And then they have all kinds of gradings in the market. So that's a risk associated with fixed interest schemes anywhere you see. Don't jump just because one bank is giving higher return. Just look at why are they doing that. Always remember third thing of today's thing. There is no free lunch in the world. There is no free lunch. No one gives you free lunch. And if someone is giving you free, try to see why are they giving you free. It may be the most expensive thing probably. Second part, come to me and you say, okay, but ma'am, your business is pretty good. You've got some 30-40% CAGR and, wealth management business is booming. I'll rather giving you loan. Why don't you make me partner in your business? I'll give you 2 crores. Whatever is the profit you share with me. What is the risk now? Yeah, what if the business has a loss? Right? Then you also end up losing. What if I'm not able to run my business? All lost, right? So now you have the risk of ownership, but you also have the reward of ownership. And that's called equity. So all these stock markets and everything in the market that you see, that's the reward of equity or ownership of a business. Now, if you invest in a business, do you get returns tomorrow? So don't expect that from equity either. Because the moment you will start expecting that, you will jump into gambling and taking bets for tomorrow. And that gives you higher risk. That makes your investment risky. As a matter of fact, it's not investment anymore. Then it becomes a trade or a gamble right? So understand, and I'm giving you the simple terminology, simple story line around it for that matter, that every instrument that you see in the market, try to classify it in these categories, and it will help you understand what would be the risk-reward relationship. Right? Real estate and gold, that means real assets, buy them and hold them for a long time and they will grow. So that's a different story altogether. We will talk about it some other time. That's a third way of growing money. The fourth one is gamble, go to Las Vegas. That's also a way, right? A lot of people go to Goa, Las Vegas just to get that excitement out of money and they think they will make a lot of money. The best part about that kind of gambling is that they're also sure that they may not make money. They're prepared for that, right? They're prepared that they may make a lot of money, but they may lose a lot of money too. The problem is all the legalized bettings, I would call it, that is trading in the stock market, derivatives, cryptos, forex derivatives, they are all what? They are taking a bet. And what we say, legalized betting. All of these tools have their own place. And that's the reason system also allows it. But the problem is when investors consider them as a quick way to make money. So as long as you all are looking at tools for investment, do not look at this fourth one. Leave it alone. That's not a category for you to look at it as investment. Okay, so this is some simple guideline I have given you for you to be able to think of money in terms of investment. And the last thing is very, very careful, very, 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 very important, managing your emotions. It's the greed and fear which drives everyone crazy. When COVID happened and the markets crashed, and everywhere there was a time of uncertainty, everyone got fearful, took the money out of the market, and all of them who took out suffered. Why? Because they were fearful. If you go back and you think, okay, but it's not going to be end of the world. And if it is the end of the world, it is anyway end of the world. Why bother about money, right? But if you believe in that resilience of human race, then you say, okay, we'll deal with this. If not today, not tomorrow. After 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, the money will, markets will come back because the system has to run. And all those who took an unemotional, more objective call made lots of returns in the market. So I'm not talking about that how to make money in the market. I'm saying these two emotions of greed and fear is what make people get hurt while investing. And then they get out of it and they say, okay, let me leave my money in fixed deposits forever, which doesn't even take care of inflation. So there's a whole system, whole science about how do you manage your money, how do you put your portfolios together. That's a complicated subject. For you all to remember is very simple, 5 things today. Don't forget the formula of compound interest. If you want to make good money, understand all the 4 components of that compound interest well. Inside out, I usually say, even for financial planners, that's the first concept we always used to teach. Understand that formula, inside out, left side right, right side left, ऊपर नीचे दाएं बाएं, सब जगह से देखो, एक उसका जो letter है, उस letter को समझो, understand where is it coming from, where that factor is coming from, where that factor might go. You will get 95% of your personal finance answers from that formula. 95% is also probably an understatement. That was one thing. What was the second thing? Never borrow. And borrow only for? Exactly. Exactly. That too, if you need to. Right? Don't live off credit ever. What was the third thing? Twenties, right? Don't make your mistake in 20s. Take advantage of the power of exponential growth. What was the fourth thing? Well, there was something fourth. I did not understand. What was the fourth thing? Those four asset classes, right? The asset classes, right? Four asset classes. And how do you differentiate them? And what is the last thing? Exactly. Great. So now in the light of all this, what we spoke just now, does anyone want to take the questions back that they had given? They had sent me. I received few questions from your college, from your school. Do any of you want to take few of the questions back? No? Okay. Now let's take questions from you all. Okay. And be frank, be open, don't worry. I'm here to answer all your, even if you think it's silly or even if you think it's complicated, let's have question answers. Right, Vanna ma'am? Vanna, that's okay, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, till you all think about questions, also think about the career that I have made. Okay, think about how do you make these careers that I have made. We do financial planning, portfolio management. It's a new career, a new age career, what we can call, did not exist in your parents' time. As a matter of fact, when I did my MBA, I studied probably only 10% of what I'm practicing today. None of this was even spoken. On derivatives, we had a 2-page chapter in a thick book. It was not considered to be something to be understood in the market, right? So this is a career, a very good career opportunity for all of you youngsters. That's registered investment advisors. SEBI came out with these regulations in 2013. Even now, there are only 1,300 licenses issued in the country. And out of those 1,300, when SEBI had asked them to renew the license, only 800 are the official numbers right now. You can imagine that. All the kinds of ICICI Wealth and all, they are also supposed to take the same license. And how big is our country? 1.3 billion, right? There's a huge gap, huge talent gap. Everywhere I speak to the youngsters, I say, keep your eyes open, think about new careers, what careers that's going to last for another half a century, not what was there half a century back. So people who got into IT career in 1980s and 90s, they are somewhere, right? People like Chandra, who is Tata Sons chairman right now. He comes from a very humble home in Chennai and Trichy, right? People like, for that matter, Sundar Pichai or Satya Nadella, everyone coming from humble homes. What did they do different? They got into a field which was a century ahead or half a century ahead. Fortunately, I also got married to a guy like that. Okay, so he was also into IT since 80s and 90s. You know, one of the senior people now in the industry. So what I'm saying is, keep your eyes, ears, antennae open. Think, look around. What is it which will be needed? And sometimes people say, hey, employment, I don't have jobs. But what is a job going to do to you? Why do you visualize a job where you will wear a suit boot and sit in an air-conditioned office? A job is an occupation. If you are useful to 100 people around you, you have an occupation. Right? In a country of 1.3 billion, can you not service 200 people? Find something that you can do for that. So keep your eyes and ears open. There are so many new opportunities all around. I wish I was of your age right now. So much that we can do, so much that you can all do. My career or what I'm pursuing right now is also one of those which we say will definitely last for another half a century. Computers cannot take it away. Artificial intelligence cannot take it away because personal finance is personal. People will need advisors, someone who knows them, who understands them, who can translate this whole jargon of the financial world into their own benefits, right? So that's one of the kind of career, and SEBI registered investment advisors are supposed to be fiduciary. That means they're supposed to work on the client side. So later on this career, please come up with your questions now. I hope you're all ready with it now. Yes. Sorry?
What is Bitcoin, ma'am? And is it investment or gambling?
Yes. Let me ask you a reverse question. Where do you put Bitcoin in terms of what is it? If I would ask you what asset class it is? Yeah. Cryptocurrency, you would say, right? Right? You would say cryptocurrency, right? Then I would ask you, what is the definition of crypto? Online money, great. What's the definition of currency? Exactly. Who is using Bitcoin as media of exchange right now? Do you know anyone? Yes. No, you are getting to your own answer. Good, good. I'm very happy you had all the right answers for the words. Just the inference part. Right? So that's where it comes to people like us who are right now in the field advising everyone else. We are saying we are not treating cryptocurrency as an asset class right now because it's not a currency. By its definition, currency is something which has to be guaranteed by a government or a sovereign, right? Then people say, okay, no, but it's a free world. Okay, it's a free world, free trade, fine. But are the trades really free? Is the world really that free? We still have governments. If Chinese government doesn't want Indian products, they'll put a ban and all that, right? It exists. So the national boundaries are there. Sovereign governments are there. How can we talk about a free currency? Second thing, even if you assume some people are trading in that currency, some people are using it as a means of exchange. Who are those people? Who are those people? Sorry? You're not getting an answer, right? I'll give you one answer. I know it's going on YouTube, but I'll still give that. A lot of companies use it for ransomware. So this has become a means of exchange in the nether worlds of World Wide Web. Do I want to be there? I personally don't want to be there because I don't know who is controlling it. I don't know whosoever wants can raise the price and bring down the price. I don't know who it is. I don't know which forces control it. So I stay out of it. And that's why for all practical purposes, all advisors that I know, all experts that I know, except people who are trading in cryptos, are putting this in the bracket of gambling. We are not treating it as an asset class right now. And that brings me to this very important thing of, and I'm glad you're reading and all that, so that's a very good thing. But that is where also you can get lured into things. And this is another word for you all. Go and research tulip mania. And you will get an answer for a lot of, there's one Professor Vaidyanathan from IIM, and I love his lectures because he's very funny and very, very entertaining while he talks. And if you can get hold of his lecture somewhere on crypto, listen to it. Okay. Yes, next question. I hope you got your answer. Yes, next question.
I have a question about equity.
Sorry?
I have a question about equity market, the stock market.
I'm not able to understand
I have a question about equity market, stock market.
Okay, your question is about equity market. Yeah, please.
In which stocks should we invest? Penny stocks or the blue chip stocks?
Okay. Let me come back to a question. What is a penny stock?
Which are below 10 rupees, penny stocks like 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 3 rupees.
Why is it below 10 rupees?
Because not much people are trading it.
Okay, so why would you buy it if someone else is not going to buy it from you?
What if it goes further far in future?
Exactly. Why will it go?
Because people may trade in it. The company might have a good profit It might introduce a good thing.
If company was so good and might make such good profit, why are people not, why is the price already not up? So let me give you this thing. This is again the neither worlds kind of stuff that we talk about. Penny stocks are the ones in which most manipulations happen. There was a point in time, there were people who were just doing this. Their job was to increase the price, and then, the SMSs would go out in bulk to people. The prices would go up. Few people who would be holding them would dump it in the market, and a lay investor, a small investor, is the one who gets hurt. So penny stocks, for any investment purpose, stay out of it. That's gambling. That's pure gambling, right? Then you are asking in blue chip stocks. Yes, blue chips are forever, but that's a different thing that, how do you put it in your portfolio and all. So that's a different question altogether. But between the two of them, learn to differentiate that. So kids, again, young men and women, understand this part, that lure of, it may suddenly go up, but it may lose. And when it will go up, why will it go up? Because someone sitting out there is going to make money. The world of finance, as exciting as it may sound, is also very murky. And that's where, when we started this practice, we said we need fiduciaries. We need fiduciaries in the country, because there are plenty of experts on the industry side. And we call them, suited, booted investment bankers. They're smart salespeople and nothing more, probably, I can say. So there are plenty of such people on that side. But it's the investor who actually doesn't understand, like he said, this is a representative of a common thought process. And that's where you all have a career opportunity of becoming fiduciaries, working for this whole big side. Why am I saying this side? Because I didn't get a question from this side. Okay, now I need a question from here. Yeah.
Ma'am, is fixed deposit is better than stock market or what?
Okay, I gave you that 4 classification. Where did you put your fixed deposit?
It was on the first.
Yeah. And where will you put your stock market?
There was no classification for stock.
Second one, right? So stock market is ownership of business.
Yes, ma'am.
If you are investing through stock market. If you are investing in fixed deposit, that means you are loaning the money and getting that interest. So look at the risk return in both of them,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Less risk in fixed deposit, but less return. More risk in stock market, but more return. The problem is the focus goes, and I'm sorry to make that a generalized statement. Sometimes in an attempt to keep it safe, we leave everything in fixed deposit. And fixed deposit by nature has a very big risk of not being able to fight inflation. So you will see when the prices in the market go up by 5 rupees milk packet, there's a group of people who jump up and down, and there's a huge group of people who just sit happy. They say, it doesn't matter, ठीक है, 5 रुपए ज़्यादा हो गया, 10 रुपए भी हो जाएगा.
Yes, ma'am.
कैसे दे देंगे? Because either they're making money or they've already invested in businesses. So stock market takes care of your inflation. Coming back to your answer, it is never this or that.
Yes,
At
ma'am.
no point in time, it is this or that, except that number 4 of gambling. All the asset classes, you got to have a proper asset allocation, which will gear, which will meet your particular risks and return profile.
Yes.
Okay, any more questions? You want to take from there?
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah.
My question is, do we have to pay tax for compound investing?
Yes, that brings me to a very interesting question. She asked, do we have to pay tax for compound interest? When do you have to pay tax? Okay, let me ask that question.
We have to pay tax for the welfare of the public?
Sorry?
For the welfare of the public or to the
No,
government?
at what instance do you pay the tax? Yeah, we have to pay taxes, otherwise how will the government run? That's a different thing. But when do you pay tax? When you earn, right?
Yes.
So any earnings that you have, kids, boys, please listen to this side. Boys, listen. Her question is also equally and probably more useful. Yeah. So her question is, do we have to pay tax on compound interest? Now, the tax tax part doesn't come basis compound interest, simple interest. Tax part comes basis what the government rules are, which will be based on product. So FD will be taxed in a particular manner. Equity stocks will be taxed in a particular manner. Debt mutual funds will be taxed in a different manner. Real estate will be taxed in a different manner. Gold will be taxed in a different manner. But all the earnings are taxed in a certain manner or other. Then it will depend upon their income slabs. So there are lots of things which come into play to decide how much will be the amount of tax. What at any point of time, when you take a decision about investment, don't look at the tax part first. That's the last question to be dealt with. First question is, why do you need the money? Second is, when do you need the money? Third is, how much do you need the money? Fourth is, now where should I put the money? And then fifth is, within that category, which is the most tax efficient tool. So suppose after the fourth answer, I come down to that my money should be 30% in fixed income securities and 70% in equity. I'm just hypothetically. Then in 30% fixed income securities, I'll say, okay, how much should I put in FD, how much in debt, because different tax treatments. Within equity, how much in mutual funds, how much in direct stock, or how much in, say, small business, that way, right? So the criteria of investment should not be the tax. Net of taxes and expenses, which is giving you a return, right return, for the risk that you can take. And that's a very important aspect. Again, one more aspect is you have to first ascertain your risk, the amount of risk that you all can take financially, and then make the investment. Don't look at the return and run. Look at the risk and whatever risk you can manage, and then take the investment risk. Yeah. Hope you got the answer. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah.
My question is, what is the right age to start investing? Because even minor...
The moment you start earning. The day you start earning, first salary onwards should be saving, there should be investment, right from day one.
Ma'am, how to become RBI governor?
How to become RBI governor? Yes. What you are supposed to do is, within your 12th thing, you have to write exams. There are RBI entrance exams. So you're supposed to write those exams. Then you go there and they train you like crazy. So I know people who are RBI governors, and they'll tell you the stories of first 5 years, how much they had to slog. And then you keep writing exams, internal exams as well, and you keep growing, and then you can become a governor. But before that, you will have to have enough knowledge about economics, enough knowledge about finance and mathematics. 3 things. Okay, ma'am. You're welcome.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah.
What are the specific risks involved in compounding?
No risk. Compounding is a concept, right? So what will be the risk involved in a concept? Risk will come from the particular asset or particular investment, not from the concept, right? So start getting these things clearer. Compounding is a mathematical concept. Probability is a mathematical concept. Regression, beta, all those analyses are mathematical concepts. No risk or no return from there. These are the tools for us to be able to determine what will come out of this particular investment. Yeah. Okay, so great. She wants to ask. No? Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, great. So thank you very much, boys and girls, rather young men and women. I'm very happy to interact with you. It was fun for me to talk to all of you. Would love to see you all making good careers in finance as well, and especially the women on this side. Okay, people say money and women don't go well. Wrong, absolutely wrong. Okay, we are good with money. We are equipped to handle money. We are We are very good at multitasking. We are very good at web thinking. These are the traits which you need for wealth management. These are the traits that you need for finance. Don't let anyone tell you that. You're not at all inferior in any way in handling numbers. You're excellent, you're good at it, and you can. Well, thank you for that, but that's a research-oriented answer. Okay, so you all don't give up. Good prospects in advisory business for women, especially. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, and thanks a lot, Vandana ji and Mr. Baheti. It was a delight.
What an insightful lecture it was. On behalf of everyone present here and the webinar, ma'am, 1 minute. I applaud this guest speaker for today's webinar and a thorough knowledge on the topic for the other gender. Really, really, really great, ma'am. Really great. Now, we have Vandana, ma'am, to felicitate the guest speaker with a shawl. Now we have Shri Vivek sir to honor our guest speaker with a memento on behalf of our magnanimous SSDB Association. Now I call upon our school headmaster, Shri Anantha Krishnan sir, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Jai Shri Krishna. Good evening, one and all present here. It is my pleasure to propose vote of thanks on behalf of SSDB Association, Honorable Chief Guest Srimati Renu Mageshwari Madam, Honorable President Sri KG Bhagati Ji, Treasurer Muralilal Santalia Ji, General Secretary KK Mageshwari Ji, Joint Secretary Sri Arun Mimani Ji, Correspondent of 4 schools, Principals of our sister concerns, all the management members, my dear students, and my dear teachers and lovable students. First of all, I would express our gratitude to Srimati Renu Mageshwari Madam for rendering highly valuable speech on saving money, investment in early part of life and the power of compounds. Already our students received. Definitely it will be multiple in the future. Is it true? Thank you. Thank you very much, madam. I hope our students would get benefits out of it. I express thanks to SSDB Association core committee members and all 4 schools managing committee members for taking efforts to present the seminar as a grand event. I would like to thank honorable correspondent of all the 4 schools of our association. I personally thank ECA coordinator of the association, Srimati Vandana Bhattad Madam, because she has been following us regarding the preparation of the seminar. She took special efforts to bring this program as successful one. I would like to extend my thanks to our school ECA coordinator, Srimati Manju Sarda Madam, for her follow-up along with the ECA coordinator of the association. I express my gratitude to principals of our sister concern schools. My special thanks to the teachers and staff of MFSD for their tireless efforts to innovate new ideas and techniques to present this program in beautiful manner. Finally, I have to thank Vasumati Madam and Arvind Sir, Vijay Kumar Sir take effort to live YouTube channel. I thank all the students and parents by showing your interest in watching this program. At last, I thank one and all for the success of the program. Thank you.
Shall we all rise for the national anthem? Just stand in your place, adjust your feet. Today you must be planning for your future life. You are going to enter into your 20s in a few more years. So with that determination, let us sing the national anthem to take the nation forward. National anthem.
भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Kindly be seated.